What's up, barbecue fans? Today we're doing something a little bit different. You've probably seen this cut of meat before. This is what we call a tri-tip. What we're doing is we're doing it in the Komodo Kamado Big Bad 32, and I'm hanging it using the duck rack. We're gonna hang it directly over that lump. Gonna get some good flavor, that fat rendering into it, and then we give it a little bit of sear, and we made ourselves some little sandwiches to boot. They are delicious. Let me show you how we did them. So let's have a look at what we're working with today. This is a Porter Road dry aged tri-tip, and obviously I've already prepped it. It's actually been marinating for about 4 hours so far. And what I did is we put a little bit of W sauce on it to begin with, and then we put on some of this Cosmos Q. It says the best steak rub, classic steak rub. Put a heavy coating of that on it, and then I took the rest. I ended up using about a full bottle, and I just marinated this guy in here for 4 hours. Now look, if you ever see someone or directions and they say marinate for 15 minutes, I don't know what they're talking about. I've never seen a piece of meat that absorbs enough marinade in 15 minutes. 2 hours would be great, 4 hours is just better. I've actually never marinated it in W sauce. I've seen some people do it with chicken, so chicken is on my list to try, but today we're doing this Porter Road tri-tip. Look, if you have not tried Porter Road and you want to, I've got a discount code below. Save yourself 15%. They've got a very wide selection, and actually, I'll show you. I just did some pork belly in a previous video, and this stuff, absolutely delicious. I'll link to that video near the end, but let's talk about a tri-tip. So first off, marinating for 4 hours. We're gonna do something a little different today. I've already fired up my Komodo Kamado Big Bad 32. Today I'm using some Komodo Kamado cocoa char made from coconut shells. It does take a little bit to get going, so you really want yourself a grill blaze or grill gun. But the goal here is that we're actually gonna do this direct heat. So we laid out our cylinders of coconut char, we fired it up, and then I put it in my duck rack, and this is what we're using here. Look at this little contraption here, right? So we're gonna take this off, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna hang this over the direct coals and give it a try. I've done ribs, I've done chicken on it, and it's been absolutely delicious. Most recently, I did some direct fire chicken legs. They were banging. So I've been on a little bit of a direct fire kick here. I think this is gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna glove up here because this is gonna be a little bit of a mess. I wanna get some of this marinade off because it's just gonna steam and kind of defeat the purpose here. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to save ourselves a little bit of hassle here, and when it comes to cleanup, at least just a little dab will do you that, and then we'll go that way. We've got that done. Now the one thing I want to do is take this guy out of here. Oh, you smell some beef? You guys just got some beef belly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Lots of the seasoning's still stuck. I was worried too much of it would come off, but it's not too bad. And because it's been in there for 4 hours, it's in pretty good shape. I think we're gonna leave it alone. I was contemplating on putting more seasoning on, but I mean, you can see just how much is on there. Now, the one thing I will tell you, now that I'm looking at this thing, is there was some thicker fat on the bottom of here. So I just took my knife and I trimmed that off. All the silver skin, there's a little bit here. That one's pretty thin, so I left that alone. But I did trim it before I put it in our marinade here. And what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna go like this. And we're gonna cook this like slower, right? So I'm right at 225 right now, dome temp. We're gonna put this on like so. I'm gonna put this right near the top. I think what'll happen is we're just gonna hang it like that, directly over a fire. See what happens. We're gonna cook it. I'm not sure how much color it's gonna develop. So I have not tried this method before. Depending on the color, I'll pull it early and then we'll go in for a sear. But I'll let you guys know once we get this on. We're probably gonna go on for probably 40 minutes to an hour. So let's go put this guy on, and again, all we're doing is we're gonna hang this directly over the lump. Now I'm only using a little less than a half a basket, and the duck hanger from Komodo Kamado has little hooks. Because I'm further in, I'm gonna hook it on top, and the gravity will hold it in place. But you know, if you're doing 2 or 4 chickens or something like that, you would take the entire basket out and then you could just hang in those spots. But you got a little bit of flexibility. So here we are. It took about 45 minutes to get to about 118, 119. And as you can see, it does not look like much. Looks like a plain Jane steak. This side did get a little crusty, just the one end there. But the rest of it looks pretty good, but we want some color on it. So I am gonna sear it. And what I've done is I've taken, in the Komodo Kamado, you've got 3 levels. There's a grate that goes in the bottom, then there's a grate that goes on top, and then you can get the, then there's the extended rack that it comes with. You could also use a half rack, which you guys see me use a ton. But normally when I'm doing reverse sear, what I'll do is I'll use a half rack and then I'll use the small rack that goes all the way down to the bottom, and then I'll sear on that. So put that in there, added a little bit more, 3 pieces or 4 pieces of cocoa char, dialed up all the vents, and now we're gonna give ourselves a good sear now. This has been sitting actually for a good half hour or so, so it's actually cold. So what we're gonna do here is I'm going to, instead of screaming up to like 700 degrees or something like that, I'm gonna go about 500 dome temp, but we are gonna be close to the coals, and we're gonna keep turning it so I can get some color on either side, and then we'll bring it in and give it a try. All right, so we've got some color that we're looking for. I'll give you a shot of that guy. I mean, looks pretty darn tasty if I do say so myself. The one thing we need to know about tri-tip, if you look at this guy, and this one's actually more so all going this way, but typically what happens is when you have a section over here, you want to slice against the grain, right? So you can see the grains going this way and slowly they go the other way. So what you want to do, or slowly they'll go this way, sorry. What you want to do is you kind of want to cut right here and then change and make sure you're slicing against the grain. Now you could serve this however you want, eat it like a normal steak. I have a desire for a little bit of a steak sandwich, so I've got some ciabatta bread here, and we're gonna kind of slice that end off here. Try not to put some super thin. And I'm gonna actually warm it up a little bit. First thing I'm gonna do is I got a little clove of garlic here, and we're gonna kind of rub some garlic all over that bread. I did kind of crush it so that it was opened up and some of the oils got released. You can make yourself a little garlic aioli if you want. I want a little bit of something, but I really want to let the steak do the talking for this little guy. I'll put a little drizzle of olive oil on here. Maybe not so much of a little. That's just gonna help crisp it up here a little bit. And we're gonna stick this in underneath the broiler for a second here. Clean as you go. Get that out of the way. We'll get this guy here. Just a little bit of a big knife, but it's clean. So what we're gonna do is we're going to follow our guidelines right there. And there we go. Now, one thing I'm gonna tell you right away, you can see that it's got a fairly thick ring around gray. It's only because I ended up hanging a light between shooting and this guy sat around for like half hour, 45 minutes cooling off. I'd pulled it off early because I wanted to give time to let it warm back up and to get some color on it. If you had pulled it, rested for 15 minutes and then seared it at that 600 degrees, you'd get the color and you get that perfectly cooked meat. But with that being said, I'm okay. Here, we'll use our fork here. I'm okay with how it is. I'm gonna give you a shot here so you can see what's going on. But as you can see, it's super juicy. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but if you ever have a sandwich or like a French dip, the finer that you slice it, I love just to put it on my meat slicer. It is just so much more enjoyable to eat rather than having a big chunk of meat. I'm gonna go a little bit more on a bias here. We've got some great meat there. Close enough. What we've got here, just a little bit of I wanted to get ciabatta rolls, but they didn't have any, so you guys are gonna have to use your imagination and imagine that it's actually a ciabatta roll, and it's a lot bigger than it is, because that's like the cutest little sandwich ever. So tiny. But that bread's hot, but I'm hungry. I thought I was gonna eat an hour and a half ago. That, my friends, is super tasty. So even though we went for 4 hours with it, you can definitely taste some of that Worcestershire sauce coming through. Taste some of that steak seasoning. but it's not super overpowering. What I can taste is some of that rendering out of that fat dripping into the coals, and it adds this like, it's really hard to describe. It's like a background flavor component, and it kind of just blends in with everything else going on, but you know it's there because if you ever grilled a steak or you smoked a steak, it doesn't taste like this. This has got some of that grilling flavors in it, but it also has another element to it that just kind of puts it over the edge. If you've never tried hanging a piece of meat over some fire, or I did some chicken legs recently over direct coals. First time ever that I wish I hadn't sauced as many chicken legs as I did, because they were so flavorful, just getting all that flavor from all that fat dripping into the coals. So if tri-steak's your thing and you're looking to try something different, give this a try. I think you're gonna like it. Do yourself a favor, get yourself a real sandwich roll if you're gonna do that. But other than that, hopefully you got some value to this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Check out this beef belly video right here. I'll see you soon.